Welcome back to Canada Immigration Daily. Today, we're addressing a critical topic that is shaping the lives of countless individuals and influencing Canada's economic and social fabric. The Canadian government's directive urging temporary residents to leave when their visas expire. While this policy may seem straightforward, its implications are far-reaching, complex, and multidimensional. To put things into perspective, consider this. By the end of 2025, over 766,000 study permits are set to expire. This figure only scratches the surface of the broader issue, which includes work permits, visitor visas, and other temporary statuses. This situation raises pressing questions. What happens when hundreds of thousands of temporary residents must leave? How will this affect the industries and communities that rely on them? What does this mean for the future of Canada's immigration system and its reputation as a welcoming nation? Today, we'll unpack these questions, delve into the challenges and opportunities, and explore potential pathways for reform. The role of temporary residents in Canada's economy and society. Temporary residents are an integral part of Canada's economic engine. They include international students, temporary foreign workers, and individuals on visitor visas who contribute to various sectors. International students contribute billions annually to the education sector and the broader economy. Beyond tuition fees, their spending on housing, food, and other essentials drives local economies, especially in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. Temporary foreign workers fill crucial labor shortages in industries such as agriculture, healthcare, construction, and technology. They perform jobs that are often hard to staff with domestic workers, ensuring the smooth functioning of essential services and supply chains. Visitor visa holders boost tourism, bringing in significant revenue and supporting hospitality and travel industries. Their contributions extend beyond economics. Temporary residents foster cross-cultural exchange, enhance Canada's global connections, and help build vibrant, diverse communities. However, the expiration of hundreds of thousands of visas could create a vacuum, disrupting industries and communities that rely on these individuals. Question: what would be the consequences if all temporary residents had to leave at once? The economy could face labor shortages, particularly in industries like healthcare, agriculture, and construction. International students might be forced to return home, leaving gaps in the education sector. Understanding Canada's immigration system. Canada's immigration system is known for its complexity and comprehensiveness. It is built on a foundation of several interrelated programs designed to address economic needs, humanitarian concerns, and family reunification. The system categorizes immigrants and residents into three broad groups. Permanent residents, PRs, individuals with the legal right to live and work in Canada indefinitely, often with a pathway to citizenship. Temporary residents, those in Canada for a limited duration, such as international students, temporary workers, and visitors. Refugees and asylum seekers, individuals fleeing persecution or danger in their home countries. Temporary residency is often seen as a stepping stone to PR. However, the transition is not straightforward. Programs like Express Entry, Provincial Nominee Programs, PNPs, and specific streams for students and workers are competitive, quota-driven, and fraught with challenges. Managing this flow of residents is a logistical challenge for government agencies like Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, and the Canada Border Services Agency, CBSA. Effective monitoring, tracking visa expirations, and ensuring compliance are critical but resource-intensive. Question: how does the complexity of Canada's immigration system impact temporary residents and their chances of transitioning to permanent residency? The intricacies of the system can create uncertainty for temporary residents, especially when there are limited pathways to transition from temporary to permanent status. Challenges faced by temporary residents. Temporary residents face numerous hurdles, many of which stem from the temporary nature of their status. Uncertainty about the future. Many temporary residents arrive in Canada with hopes of transitioning to PR. However, the pathways are competitive and limited, leaving many in limbo. Limited rights and benefits. Temporary residents often do not qualify for the same social benefits as PRs or citizens, such as full healthcare coverage or social assistance. High costs. International students and workers often face significant financial burdens, from high tuition fees to costs associated with work permits and renewals. The directive urging temporary residents to leave upon visa expiry further exacerbates these challenges, leaving many individuals unsure about their next steps. Question: what support systems should be in place for temporary residents to help them transition from temporary to permanent status? Support could come in the form of clearer pathways to permanent residency, financial assistance programs, and guidance to help them integrate into Canadian society. Implications for key sectors. The policy urging temporary residents to leave upon visa expiration will have profound implications for industries and communities across Canada. 1. Education sector. Canada's status as a top destination for international students could be at risk. These students contribute not only through tuition fees, but also by addressing skills shortages in fields like healthcare and technology upon graduation. If Canada gains a reputation for being unwelcoming or overly restrictive, it risks losing out to competitor countries like Australia and the UK. 2. Agriculture and essential services. Temporary foreign workers play a vital role in Canada's agriculture sector, harvesting crops and maintaining supply chains. A mass exodus of these workers could lead to labor shortages, increased costs, and potential disruptions in food security. 3. Technology and innovation. Highly skilled workers on temporary visas contribute to Canada's growing tech industry. Losing these individuals would impact innovation research and the ability to compete in the global tech market. Question: how will different sectors of the Canadian economy cope if a significant number of temporary residents are forced to leave? Some sectors, like agriculture, healthcare, and technology, would face immediate labor shortages, potentially slowing growth and reducing Canada's competitive edge on the global stage. Broader social and economic consequences. The ripple effects of this policy extend beyond individual industries. Housing crisis. The demand for housing, especially rental properties, could shift. While a decrease in temporary residents might ease pressure in some markets, it could also leave landlords and property developers grappling with vacancies. Community dynamics. Temporary residents often form tight-knit communities, fostering cultural diversity and mutual support. Their departure could leave voids in local networks and reduce community engagement. Question: what happens to Canadian communities if large numbers of temporary residents leave? Communities may experience a sense of loss, as temporary residents often contribute to the social and cultural richness of local areas. These individuals may also provide valuable support networks for immigrants. Proposed reforms and alternatives. The Canadian government has hinted at reforms to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, aiming to create more efficient pathways to PR for temporary residents. Here are some proposed and potential reforms. Sector-specific PR pathways. Introducing targeted programs for industries facing critical labor shortages, such as healthcare and technology. Increased quotas for express entry and PNPs. Expanding the number of PR spots allocated to temporary residents with Canadian work or study experience. Simplified processes, reducing paperwork and streamlining applications to make transitions smoother. Better integration programs, providing resources for temporary residents to integrate into Canadian society, from language training to job placement services. Question: how can these proposed reforms benefit both temporary residents and Canadian society? The reforms could provide more accessible and efficient pathways to permanent residency, supporting Canada's economic growth while ensuring temporary residents have a clearer, more stable future. The ethical debate. At the heart of this issue is a philosophical question. What does it mean to be a Canadian? Is it defined by citizenship, or is it about contributing to society, embracing Canadian values and building a life here? Advocates argue that Canada must align its policies with its global reputation as a welcoming and inclusive nation. Skeptics, however, caution against overburdening social services and housing markets. Question: is Canada's immigration system fair to those who are contributing to the country, even if they are not yet permanent residents? This raises important ethical questions about fairness, inclusion, and the treatment of individuals who contribute significantly to Canadian society but are not permanent residents. Conclusion: a delicate balance. Canada's immigration system is at a critical juncture. Balancing the needs of the economy, the rights of temporary residents, and the concerns of citizens will require thoughtful, data-driven policymaking. For our viewers, this is more than just a policy discussion. It's a reflection of Canada's identity and values. Question: how can we ensure that immigration policies serve both the needs of the economy and the values of fairness and inclusivity? The challenge lies in finding policies that promote economic growth while safeguarding the rights of individuals and maintaining the country's reputation as an inclusive and welcoming nation. Action steps: stay updated. Keep following news and updates about immigration policies. Advocate for change. Support organizations working for fair immigration reforms. Engage in discussions. Share your thoughts and listen to diverse perspectives. Thank you for staying with us for this in-depth discussion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Canada Immigration Daily. Together, we can shape a more informed and inclusive Canada.